cups of soup and only buying the dining hall meals, they could still buy 10 of those because the price of those didn't change. So we're talking about a shift like this. Or, again, the slope of the budget constraint is a ratio of the prices, and that changed. It used to be going down 1 over 4. Well, now you can't go over 4 because the price of these is higher. So you would go down 1 over 3. Let me draw in the new budget constraint as well as I can in a straight line. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I've had better, I've had worse. So that's my new budget constraint. That is because the price of this rose to $2. Now I can only buy 30 of them. If I were to buy only them, the most I could buy would be 30 of them. But there's some other parts to this. There's what we can do and there's what we would do. Our psychology, the indifference curves, what's going on in each of us, these are the softer things, the curved things. We don't have that on here yet, but before I can put that on there, I need to say, well, where's it going to go? And that's what he's telling us in letter B here. Share the consequences of that change. That's the purple line I have. Assume that our students now only spends 30% of our income on dining hall meals. So he's telling us the outcome. We have to kind of think that through to get back to what would cause that to happen. If you're spending 30% of your income on dining hall meals, your income is $60. 30% of 60 is $18. 0.3, that's 30% times 60 is $18 being spent on dining hall meals. Dining hall meals are still $6. Right? Make sure I'm in my right place. Yep. Well, if they're $6 each, and you're going to spend 30% of your income, and he just made it up what he wanted it to be. He said that's the outcome. If you're going to spend 30% of your income on them, that's $18, and they're $6 each. How many are you buying? You're buying 3, because they're $18 is what you're spending, and $6 each. So you used to buy 5 of them, but then when the price of something rose, you can't buy as many because you're going to be buying both things. This person is. So 3 would be right about here. So we know that that's where my intersection is going to be. But what are you going to spend on the other thing? Well, if you have $60 and you're spending 18 on dining hall meals, you're going to be spending 42 on the cup of noodle. But they're $2 each. You're spending $42 at $2 each. How many are you buying? $42 divided by $2, you're buying 21 cup of noodles, cup of soup, whatever. That actually is here. It's something greater than you used to buy. So now your combination that you're actually buying is 321. So point B, and I don't like to draw over my existing colors because it messes up my markers. Along a difference curve 2, point B would be here at the combination of 3 of the dining hall meals and 21 of the cup of noodles. So that, I think, thoroughly answers letter B. Letter C, what happened to the quantity of cup of noodles consumed as a result of this price change? What does this result say about the income and substitution effects? What happened specifically to the cup of noodles? That rose. 1 unit on 20, it rose by 5%. The person increased, the price of cup of noodles went up, and the person increased their consumption of it. So that tells you something's really weird here. It's a pretty unique kind of thing this happens for her. That's coming. We're building up suspense. I like to do that. What does this result say about the income and substitution effects? Okay. The budget constraint got flatter. No, I'm wrong. It got steeper because it moved in this way. That line got steeper. The purple construction kind of line, the one that comes from just the world we live in, the prices we face, and the income we face. So it got steeper. The substitution effect is the one that would move along the same indifference curve. Both words start with S. The substitution effect would have driven this consumer, just that effect alone, would have driven this consumer in this direction. The income effect was less of both. The income effect was less of this and less of this. So we have a conflict here between income and substitution. This is substitution. Substitution, if you think about the movie Inside Out, substitution is a lot like anger, except he's not always negative. He's just whimsical, spontaneous. The good here, cup of soup, got more expensive. Substitution's attitude is, well, I don't like that. I'm going to go away from that toward the other thing. Substitution is real reactionary. Income is all about moving to the other budget constraint. Other starts with the vowel, so does income. Here's their conflict. But at the end of the day, this consumer went up in the consumption of the cup of soup. So income won big time. The income effect was so strong that this consumer bought more of this where they had a conflict. So income, what this means to us, if this was the outcome, it would mean the income effect won in their conflict. So that's B. So D, use points A and B to draw a demand curve for cup of soup. What type of good is this called? We hadn't talked about this yet because it's coming our way. And especially in the Miller textbook, he devotes simply too much time to this very unlikely event. I mean, think about it. It's how likely is it that I think I can erase all this. How unlikely is it that when the price of something goes up, we buy more of it, all else held constant? It's pretty rare. The instance in history where it's been found, the person got named by finding it. He got his name on the type of good. It's called a Giffen good. So there it is. It was an economist named Giffen. I guess he was an economist. Discovered this about the price of potatoes. When the price of potatoes are rising in or around the Irish potato famine, the quantity demanded actually rose. It was a kind of an unusual finding, hence the name after the person who found that. So let's just quickly look at that with this good. So what I'm doing now, I'm just setting up a demand curve, price and quantity in our supply and demand framework. We're not going to include supply, but we do have two prices and two quantities, don't we? We had the price of $1.50 and the price of $2 for the cup of soup. And the quantity demanded was revealed to us along here for the cup of soup. At $1.50, the consumer was willing and able to purchase 20 units. When the price rose, the consumer was willing and able to buy 21 units. So that means we had two prices. Let's say this was $1, this is $2. So $1.50 would be halfway in between. And we had two quantities. We had 20 and 21. Here our scale doesn't matter as much because we would only be working where the action is anyway. We just have to make sure that 21 is greater than 20 and 2 is greater than 150. So let's say that right out here, let's say 10, 20, 30. That's 20. 30 we don't actually care about. At at $1.50, the consumer was willing and able to purchase 20 units. And then the price went up to $2, and the person's consumption rose to 21. So there's our segment of the demand curve. Whoa, it's upward sloping. So the Giffen good, a good for which when prices rise, the quantity demanded rises, that's saying that the demand curve is backwards or inverted. It's not our typical. It doesn't follow the law of demand. That would be a very unique case. And the moral of our story is that that would be the case if the income effect was so dominant that the person would increase their consumption of the good when its price rose. So it's kind of circular. Let me make sure we've answered everything about that. We have. So now we're on to number 2. And I just decided I'm just going to make a separate video for number 2 to minimize the downloading, uploading time, and also to give you a chance to just pick which video you need if you want to rewatch one or something like that. So I'll be right back with another video.